Since a long time ago, I've marked myself out from politics cause I find it very toxic and they really harm one another. But now I come to tell you guys about something I've been longing to say during this time. I've read in comments, on messages, in posts, in memes, and they keep telling the people who's protesting, slackers. They always repeat it and say it in all the comments everywhere. But I have a small reflection that sticks in my mind. Who are you calling a slacker? To that indigenous who wakes very early in the morning to plant, to sow, and to harvest? To that indigenous that works Sunday to Sunday in the field to feed us up in the big cities? Who are you calling a slacker? To the indigenous who for years has been restrained and oppressed. And not only from this era, but from 500 years ago. Who are you calling a slacker? That indigenous man who works to the bone, who works his tail off to feed up his children, and sometimes can barely afford to give them breakfast or lunch or a snack. 1 meal per day, where they cannot send them to school or high schools, because it's very difficult to enter education here, where they've got no health. But you keep telling him a slacker. To the one that brings the highlands to here, to our city, in trucks, the food, to the one indigenous that is on the mercado serving the food so you may help yourself. You're calling a slacker to those who also work really hard on construction. They are the best of the city and the ones who make marvelous houses. You're saying a slacker to the one that has worked all this time. Sometimes in even unfair labor, like in Obrajes, where the Spaniards make them work the heck out of them, and then the landlords, and so on and so forth until the 20th century. During this time, they are more free. Despite that, this modern Obrajes still exists, where they are oppressed, where they trample on them, where they receive the minimum. But you are still calling him a slacker. Aren't you sorry for being like that? That your privileges can allow you to realize the rest? The human being suffering, and maybe if you keep calling them slackers, the slacker here may be you, cause you wouldn't do what an indigenous does. And never forget all those benefits that the employees nowadays have is due to the indigenous fight for rights. Not from today, but from decades. In fact, not even decades, but centuries. So without any further, I just come here to tell you, I'm not forcing you to join the strike or not. I'm just asking you to respect the people who, even though you deny it, they feed you up.